Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Namaskar. Friends, many of us attend retreats, self-help courses, we perform exercises, mental and physical, in an effort to make sense of our overwhelming world and our responses to it. But do these exercises actually percolate into our bloodstream and into the microscopic cells that form our personalities? Or do we treat them just as a mode of temporarily disengaging ourselves from the humdrum of daily lives before we go back to our bumbling, anxious selves? Masters tell us that for any teaching to actually seep from the head to the heart, we need to listen, ruminate, and share our understanding. The Garden of Yoga Vasishtha is one such attempt. We do this by meandering into the stories and legends that hang like branches and fruits in the abundant garden of a text called Yoga Vasishtha. And then we share our understanding and invite others to share theirs so as to expand our mental and spiritual horizons. Now, what is Yoga Vasishtha? The Yoga Vasishtha is a fundamental Advaitic text that is about awakening to our own reality. It is about examining life at its very source. Swami Venkateshananda, whose life exemplified the teachings, writes in his Supreme Yoga that Yoga Vasishtha is about spiritual awakening and the direct experience of the truth. This is certain. If this is what you want, you are welcome to the Yoga Vasishtha. Now, we may not be quite ready for such a direct vision, but surely we wish to be able to act, move, talk, walk, sit, stand better than we do now. The Yoga Vasishtha is about the dejection of a young Rama who, having observed life in its various facets, wants to know the meaning of existence and of our role in it. The teaching given to Sri Ram by sage Vasishtha is called the Yoga Vasishtha or the Vasishtha Ramayana, even though the text is actually composed by Rishi Valmiki. In some ways it is like the well-known text, the Bhagavad Gita, but there the teaching is given in a battlefield to enable an 89-year-old Arjuna to get on with his duty. Arjuna's questions and hesitation arise from his personal moral and ethical dilemma about facing his dear ones, his elders, and his relatives in battle. Some of his difficulties may also have arisen from a fear of engaging with a very powerful adversary. We don't know that. Rama's questions, on the other hand, are based on a keen observation of the human condition per se. His inquiry arises from a universal urge, which many of us may have, which after examining life in all its facets, finds it lacking in every way, leading to an existential dejection. And this prevents Ram from engaging in day-to-day activities as he does not see any meaning in them. And that becomes a cause for concern in the royal household of King Dasharatha, the father of Rama. Ram, as the heir apparent, must take interest in the administration of the kingdom and what goes on in it. Seeing this, sage Vasishtha is requested to come and clear Ram's doubts. As against the battlefield of the Bhagavad Gita, the teachings here is imparted in the opulent court of the king, attended by courtiers, learned sages, teachers, attendants who serve the royal family and the nobles, and also celestial beings who have made haste to come and attend this this court where the teaching is taking place. Even court animals are spellbound by the discourse. And the teaching here goes on for a period of 18 days, as against some 2 or 3 hours of the Bhagavad Gita. In the Upanishadic fashion, the teaching is given in answer to questions and counter questions raised by a student of sharpened intellect. Answers are given through examples, stories, parables, and each story provides a window into the truth from a different angle as it touches different aspects of our personality and understanding. Swami Venkateshananda explains how the idea of time and place as we know it is challenged to give us an insight into what life and energetic force really is. We have heard of disruptive technologies that give rise to new modes of functioning. The mobile phone, for example, which displaced what we call the landline, which youngsters today don't even know about. And this technology enabled us to move away from a fixed location and to make contact with people in distant lands and distant places, and even connect with them as though physically, visually. And also we have other technologies like the UPI mode of payment, which has made dealing with currency somewhat redundant. So the Yoga Vasishtha is part of an ancient spiritual technology which introduces a fresh and modern way of examining life and the world around us. It provides us with a new lens through which we see layers and colors previously not perceived by us. The text makes us question fundamental assumptions we have about ourselves and about the universe. What does it mean to be human? What is it to be alive? What is the purpose of this mechanism we call the body? Does life refer to an organism that ceaselessly breathes and pumps energy into a physical machine? Or is it something more than that? Swami Venkateshananda says that life is present at many more levels than we are aware of. That is why we don't know its potential. If we could know that, we would live an enlightened life. Generally, our actions pertain to the limited external world, to societal norms, to legal norms, to relationships, respect, wealth, position. We are judged, rewarded or punished according to the visible external norms. The inner being, a medley of tendencies and impressions, is known only to ourselves. But is it really known even to ourselves? With our minds engaged in a multiplicity of objects, with continuous streams of data invading our senses, we remain engrossed in what we proudly call multitasking. We have no time even to think about the world around us, leave alone the subtle inner being. So we live skimming the surface of a magical creation. We have no inkling that we are a universe in ourselves, with trillions of microscopic cells functioning ceaselessly to keep this body alive. We have no idea how thousands or millions of them coordinate instantaneously, even to blink an eyelid or to move a hand to pick up a pen or a book. We have no idea that we breathe some 22,000 times in a day, that we breathe some 12,000 liters of air in the course of a day. Imagine those 1,000-liter water tanks that sit on the tops of the roofs of our homes, and visualize 12 of those, and imagine us inhaling some 12 of those in the course of a day. unthinkable. These are things we have no idea about. But what is the energetic force that enables all that? Not being aware of the great dimensions of life, a sense of doubt and anxiety involuntarily lurks under the decisions we take. Was I right? Or could I have done something differently? Should I have waited longer? Why did I say what I did when actually I meant to say X, Y, Z? Or later, having done something or acted in a certain way, we feel, oh, I should have done it this way or that way. This is because our normal decisions come from a limited, divisive mind that is neither in touch with the real world, nor is it centered on its own capacities. That is what Yoga Vasishtha brings into our awareness. As the text itself says, a life has value only when, by means of reflection on the nature of reality, one's own truth is arrived at. Life is lived by plants, animals, birds, and other beings, but is it really lived? What is life? What is death? What is the universe and our relation to it and our role in it? It is usually when a kind of creative despair takes over the mind. It is usually when a kind of a creative despair takes over the mind that we begin to even start questioning life. The enquiry begins when external objects fail to fulfill our search for meaning. Then, moved by a certain humility, we may approach a teacher. And the teacher, very gently, nudges the intellect of the seeker, causing it to plumb its own depths where the answer must be found. It has to be found within ourselves, in our own being. So the Yoga Vasishtha starts by explaining who can ask a question, or about the eligibility or the legitimacy of the questioner. Secondly, how to ask a question. And thirdly, where to find an answer, in a textbook, in the library, or through a teacher. According to the masters, we should listen intently in order to internalize the teaching. We should reflect on them and then share our understanding to expand our horizons. That is the purpose of the Garden of Yoga Vasishtha channel. Please join us in this wondrous exploration and share your understanding of this enigmatic text as we go along. Hari Om.